Welcome to our first COVID edition webinar. While COVID has changed a lot of things, there are some things that haven't changed.
We still have a small class of 8. We all have learning disabilities. We are all learning new ways to learn.
But most importantly, we all rely upon technology to make our learning more meaningful.
Hi, we're the Techdudes, and as you heard, we are a small class of students with learning disabilities. We focus on language, math, and learning skills. We all came from different schools, but there was one thing that we all have in common. We both do our best learning before.
Some of us were faking it.
Some of us missed a lot of school. And some of us were just plain old angry. But luckily, we've come together to learn more about our learning disabilities and how to be our best.
Our goal today is to highlight the technology we use, maybe spark a new idea, and hopefully give you something to take back to the kids you work with.
Before we get to the really important stuff, Mrs. Faulkner has a lot of teacher talk.
Some commonalities in my student profiles. All 8 students have a diagnosis of ADHD along with their diagnosed learning disability. Their working memory is typically below the 5th percentile, and they have difficulties with executive functioning skills along with slower than average processing speeds. Because they've had some negative experiences prior to coming into the self-contained classroom, they often show work avoidance behaviors when they first begin in the program. The program itself focuses on 4 pillars: numeracy, literacy, technology skills, and learning skills. So today we'll be focusing mostly on the impact that the technology has made.
Now, let's get on with the good stuff.
In our class, there are goals to using technology.
Let's start with the number 1 goal, independence. A kid doesn't want to always ask for help. He always doesn't want to be given baby milk from a different table. He wants to be able to read for himself and remember what he's learned.
Read and write is a tool we all use on our laptops.
I can talk and it can type back to me. It also has its own dictionary and picture dictionary. So if I highlight the word dictionary, if I didn't know what it meant, I would press picture dictionary and word dictionary. It would show it in a picture. It would show one of them in words. And it would show like a picture of like different stuff. Like it could show different meanings for different stuff. And it could also read back to me if I didn't know what it said. And if I go on this app that I highlighted, I could press highlight and I could highlight the important words. And then when I highlight all my important words, I press extract. Extract would take me to my page that I extracted all my words to. And then when I extracted all my words, I would put it in a paragraph that I wrote. To find out more, some old Techdudes have some own videos that you can watch by yourself on your own time. When we're not using a laptop, we use the reader pen.
So the reader pen can read your name. Text reader, just scan it, and then it just doesn't. Well, it's on the page. So yeah. Here I am scanning my work, and it's reading back to me.
Here I am plugging it in, and then you also have to have it in the right hand, and then you just scan the word, and then it goes onto the Google Docs. And also, you also have to give it a minute after you plug it in. You can also scan whole chunks of books this way. I used the pen during drama. Everyone had to read their lines, and I had a hard time remembering. The C pen read to me, and then I could do my lines without help. It's also when we work on websites that read out loud or let us use our tools, but sometimes websites are locked and you can't get read and write to interact with them. When that happens, we use grab image text. I was trying to read this sentence on my computer, but it wouldn't do it with read and write. So I took a photo of it on the iPad, and then you press on it, and then you press grab the text, and then you press on the letters, and then you do select all, and then you press on it again, then you do speak.
Equals try this. Write a letter to Mrs. Smith, the manager of the radio control racing car factory, complaining about a car you have bought. Choose the right parts of the letter and put them in the right places on the page. Okay.
With so many great websites to visit, it's hard to remember all the passwords.
I use Google Keep for my password and for my information.
Google Keep is on iPads and computers, so it makes it easy to find the information you need.
On Google Keep, I keep passwords and important notes to remember stuff.
We won't look at all of your things. Just open up Google Keep for us. Yep, click. And then we can see you've got goals, passwords we don't want to look at, and then if you scroll, you've got other important things all right in your document, so it's quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding information can be a guy's worst nightmare. Online binders makes our life so much easier.
This is an online binder. This was for the novel study front desk. So you can see what it is just a container. So when we were talking about the 6 traits of writing, we could actually go here and work with the 6 traits. When it was time to do writer's workshop, students could focus on a specific trait, in this case word choice, and work through the things that we had already discovered together in relation to our shared novel. So Grover decided he was collecting from the novel Devoured Oceans of Memories. Those were the word choices he liked. He was making note of her voice, the way she used transition words, her ideas, how she made her points clear. We could go to literary devices. His example, after learning what those were, he created this one. Having a learning disability is like taking a break on a long race and then finishing for the win. He tracked the characters through the novel. He used comprehension strategies and gave me specific examples during certain points. We talked about the messages and the themes. So an online binder is simply a slideshow where he can collect the things that are of use for what we're studying. And then Grover created his own Towering Waves. So Towering Waves is Grover's creation. We'll have him just come and give a wave, and then I will read out loud for you. Perfect. I was pushed down into the deep, dark, deafening wave of the ocean. I tried to bring myself up with my paddle, but it was no use and it broke like a twig. Luckily, the water wasn't very cold. I was frantically thrown up by the waves as I saw the number one thing in the world that would help me the most. I was struggling to get to the priceless island just a few yards away. I felt the majestic, glorious land. I threw myself on the life-saving sand. I was safe. I was looking for somewhere to camp as I saw something terrifying. So you can see evidence of Grover's learning in his own creation.
Another great way to use technology to help us never forget is something we call our math dictionary.
So I have a photo with all my important stuff, and I have Math Helper. So if I go here, it's Math Dictionary. And if if I look for fractions for F, I'd click slide 7, and it'd show me fractions.
And who made these videos that are here?
Us.
So students, and as
Yeah.
you learn new things, do you add new videos?
Yeah. You would add new videos every time you learn something new.
And can you go back to the main screen with your letters? What's this little crazy man on the side for?
He's for when you need a break for like just only 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. So you can
Okay.
have sound and music for 5 minutes.
So you have a calming space.
Yeah,
Can we go
calming
back to
space.
that main tool again? Main slide. There we go. And what's the tools for?
So the math tools are for they're for tools on the websites and stuff to help us.
So virtual
Yeah,
manipulatives?
virtual manipulatives.
Okay, just keep scanning and show us a few of your virtual manipulatives. So you've got all those there in case you need them as well.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much move into our second goal. Using technology we use to help ourselves remember.
This is our 3D map world. We made it in code spaces. In map, if you want to add fractions and the bottom number doesn't match, you have to skip count to find a match.
So we coded these kits to skip to help us remember the math rule.
My example is an app called Procreate. I can use it to draw parts of our novel so I remember details for answering questions. This is Procreate, and this is the main details of our front desk.
So this was you
Yep.
drawing. This is a replay so that I can mark what you were thinking when you were drawing. And I would start, you told me this was her imagining,
But then I made it bigger.
and then these were the important details.
She moved from China to America. Her key, her selling all that, and her at the end jumping into the pool, and then Hank, because he was the police were thinking it was him, but it was actually not.
Excellent. So this is now at least 6 months later, and you're still able to retell the story. And I'm able to see sort of the rehistory of how you added in and what your thinking process
And then the mystery
was.
buyer, and then the loan sharks. And 1 minute is actually one hour or 2 hours.
Right. So this is elapsed time, but the history replay of you adding important details as you read the book.
Yeah.
We didn't have to use technology to remember, but the process of creating something ourselves helps us remember so much better. Let's face it, it makes school a bit more bearable.
Our third goal for using technology is to give us a choice in our work.
All of our work comes from our IEP. Our IEP is connected to a locked avatar, and it's our job to know what we're doing and why. When we finish a job, we put our links into our IEP to show what we know. This way, we're in control of our own goals and our own learning.
So I'm going to go to my important file and go to the Techdude website. And as you can see, everyone's avatar, so I'll click mine.
Wait, can you go back and show us what happens if you click somebody else's?
If I click someone else's, it just says access denied,
You're locked
locked out. So if I go here into writing, you'd see links,
Who put those links there?
me. So I would 3 different writings I would have to make. So I did my letter grade 6, poem grade 6, and I did my other one, which I'm gonna put in. And these are words you the teacher sends back to you.
Okay, so that's your feedback.
The
So
feedback.
could you just click on one of your links?
So going to
Excellent. And then that's a form of writing you've been working on.
And then
Oh, and I can see some feedback on the side there too
Yeah.
to help you correct it. And you're managing all this inside your own IEP.
Yes.
Speaking of controls, we have a system where we do our tests when we're ready, instead of just doing them on our random date on the calendar.
We use our screencasters 5. Here's me doing my reading test when I already felt right.
Young with moss ship cob whack chum tip break back sack ship dog death
Here's how we know when we're ready for a test.
We're going to start by using your priority folders. So you've just opened up priority in your drive. And then can you take us into your math concepts? Okay. And explain to us what it is you're tracking about yourself, please.
So it's noob. Don't really know what this is yet. Semi-pro. Heard of it. I remember a tiny bit. Pro. I got this. I can have T2. A master is like when you don't need any help and you don't really need to do the work anymore.
Okay, can you show us, like, just scan down so we can see some of the concepts? There we go.
This is
And you've always put a mark to tell us your achievement level, right? And you mark yourself at this point.
Yeah.
And when you think you're a pro, that's when you're ready to do a mastery check.
Yeah. Like here. I would put it.
You would do a mastery check in that skill.
When we're not a pro, we have self-paced lessons.
So for this, we have to go into like just one of these, and I used capitalization as one. And first, we have to watch some videos about capitalization, and then we do some work here, and then we have to finish do capitalize all the stuff that would be capitalized, and then after that you choose from, do I understand or do I need to meet with Mrs. Falconer, and then it's really done.
This way we can work on the things we need and skip over the things we remember. We don't have to wait for other kids to catch up. And we always know what we're working on.
The last thing we like to point out in the student's voice and choice section is the importance of Jamboards.
Jamboards are spaces where we can collaborate, show our thinking, or answer all at the same time.
Which brings us to our last goal for using technology in our classroom. Technology helps us create strategies for solving our own problems.
When I was having trouble spelling, I used a live Skype pen to hear extra practice words. That way I could practice when other kids didn't need to. My spelling has come a long way.
Okay, you wanted some extra spelling practice, so go ahead and show us how this works.
subtract
So now go ahead and spell.
compact
Okay, but you wouldn't do that. You would press it. Listen again.
subtract
Now go ahead and spell. And if you forget the word, what can you do?
Tap it again.
subtract
Okay, so what's this tool called?
It's called equatio.
So first of all, we're going to put in 1/2 and insert the math. And now it types it properly instead of like the funny way computers type, right? So there's a perfect half. Now you're going to show me a half. So you're picking a space, a math space. Perfect, I love the touch screen. Now can you go ahead and draw me a half with one of the interactive shapes? Oh, use the interactive shapes. Yeah. So you're changing how many pieces it has. Nice. Now can you put that back on the document that we started with? You just press
Insert.
the map.
And I reverse this.
And I'm watching. It goes right into the document I left you.
Yeah, but there's one thing I want to show.
Okay.
You can even use this. Watch this. 3/4. 3/4. What the heck is this? Or you can use this one. Just draw anything.
Oh, you know what I like is that when you were a little bit frustrated because we're filming live, aren't we? And it didn't cooperate. So you're a little bit frustrated, but you have other options. So if the microphone doesn't happen to work, you can handwrite and it turns into computer and you can insert it. Nice.
So you can see when we mix brilliant kids like us with really cool technology
And some shared goals.
your kids will be unstoppable!